Aruba, it's me, and welcome to episode 7 of the Weekly Whisper Show. I'm your host, Elian Habanero, and I'm here to talk all things in the news of 365 Pro Wrestling, and I'm excited today. We got a great show for you. Let's get into it. Now, last week I announced that I joined a group of content creators in Ontario Indie Wrestling, and just an update on that, they started a Facebook, a Twitter, and an Instagram. You can find them at OIW, which stands for Ontario Indie Wrestling Podcast Network. Search it up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, follow the groups, and there is a website coming, and it's going to be exciting times. Lots of great content out there for you wrestling fans out there that want to see what's going on in Ontario and see different point of views and different people doing different shows and providing you some great content. Now, we are 4 days away. That's right. This Saturday, February 22nd, in Campbell River, BC, at the Willow Point Lions Club, which is located 2165 South Island Highway. Our next 365 event will be taking place there, and the crowning of the first ever 365 Grand Champion. I touched on this a bit on the last episode of the Weekly Whisper, and what a great show. Let's give it a quick rundown now. Also, if you want to buy your tickets, you can buy them from one of the sponsors, Unveiling Toys, which is in the by the Iron Mall there on Shoppers Row. And also, one of the other sponsors is Fitness Etc. But I don't believe they carry physical tickets. But if you want to buy online, go to CanadianProWrestling.com, the website there. You can buy them right there online, and it comes right up on your phone, like buying an airplane ticket. It's simple. It you don't have to make a trip. And it's right there, your spots are reserved, and everything's good to go. The doors will open at 7 p.m., the bell time, 7:30 p.m., and then we'll have 3 singles matches, or they'll have 3 singles matches. Lisa Hall will be taking on the Golden Boy Travis Williams. The Old Greedy Bastard, Jordy Taylor, will be taking on Brett the Body Matthews, and Nolan James will be taking on the Born Sinner, Judas Icarus. The winners of those 3 matches will go into the main event in a 3-way contest, with the winner of that match becoming the first ever 365 Pro Wrestling Grand Champion, and the Tag Team Championships will also be on the line, as Javio, the team of Javiko and Eddie Osborne, will be defending their championships against the Voros twins. This is going to be a great show. Get your tickets now before it's too late. And then last week, on episode 6, we talked about Commissioner Dr. Walls making his first ever appearance on camera and announcing the matches for the show that I was just referring to. But he has also announced the matches for the next Ontario show, which is about 12 days away, a week and a half away, Saturday, February 29th, at the Alpine Club in Kitchener, Ontario, and he has released a great set of matches on this event. So let's quickly run through them. BMD versus Eazy-E Eric Carney. Now, this match was supposed to happen in Guelph, Ontario, but BMD was not feeling up to par to be able to compete in this contest, as he had his medical reasons and whatnot. So they're finally going to set to do battle in Kitchener this time instead of Guelph. Then we have Super K taking on the debuting Tyler Arrow. Clay Wilson will go into the match against John Tavius. Then we got Pretty Ricky Wiley will be taking on Kitchener's own Brandon Jacobs. Joey Allen will be taking on Rip Impact. And then the tag team contest of the Temple, Lenny Lilac and Jeff Black, will be taking on Sabrina Kyle and her partner Scumbag Gates, who like to collectively call themselves Scumbag Royalty. Get your tickets now. The same thing. You can get them at CanadianProWrestling.com. It's just the easier way, or even get in contact with me, or just go to the Facebook thing. If you type in Facebook event, I just type in the date, February 29th, 365. And it'll come up with the event page, and it'll show you other ways to get tickets, and it's very easy. There's phone numbers, lots of contact info there. The next couple of weeks are going to be very exciting. 2 great shows, one in British Columbia, one in Ontario, the crowning of the new Grand Championship, the first ever 365 show in the Alpine Club, And then we got a couple new segments that I debuted last week, and I also have the comment corner, but no one's been commenting. So get your comments in. I want to hear what you think of the new segments. What match are you looking forward to the most of the ones that I just described there? And let's get into the first new segment that I debuted last week, the content checklist. Every week, after my show, the Weekly Whisper drops, I will go through all the content that has been dropped on YouTube. And we'll go through it, tell you what there is to see, and see how many you can check off the list. So after episode 6 of the Weekly Whisper, we had the 365 Pro Wrestling Podcast. It was another pick-up episode with Joe Dog Hallam and Nicky Martin. They all love doing these ones. It was podcast episode number 42, and they made their predictions for the Campbell River, British Columbia event that's happening in 4 days here. Then, podcast number 43, it was the event rundowns. Dr. Walls had just released the cards, and they went through them and talked about all the great matchups that you'll see. We also had podcast number 4 with Pretty Ricky Wildy, which was well received. And the I forgot one. I skipped one here. After the very first one, the Pick'ems with Joe Dog and Nicky Martin, Haviko and Eddie Osborne, they talked about their match coming up with the Voros twins on this Saturday here. And then, so after the Pretty Ricky one, I apologize sincerely, the Voros twins responded to Havio and said their little piece there. Then we had, it was a different video. It was Judas Icarus in a weirdly lit room getting ready for this weekend in 365. That's what I'll say about that. It was a little odd. He seems to be going a little bit more and more office rocker, which could be part of why he's achieved so much greatness. You know, they say you have to have all the people that are geniuses always have something a little off about them. But yeah, it was strange. Then we had podcast number 45 with Too Magnificent Nicky Martin. And then they went back and, this is something that they'll do from time to time on the 365 YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. They'll go back and go through the vaults. I guess, yeah, you would call it the Nostalgia Network, the Nostalgia shows. And they'll go through the PWA, the former promotion, and sometimes they'll put out matches that have not been released before, like a throwback thing. And it's always fun to see those matches and see what went down before. And there were some matches from the final PWA Canada shows there. We had Lenny Lilac versus Paul Wright, which was really something that people are still talking about today. And speaking of that, the very last Pure Violence match ever in PWA Canada, Warhead and Jeff Black, which got a standing ovation at the end. Make sure you check out these matches. You won't be disappointed. We had Lance Malibu's final match ever in a 4-way contest. Brandon Hines, Nolan Pink, Kobe Durst, and himself. That was uploaded. Then we had podcast number 46 with Eric Affleger, also known as CP, who was commissioner of PWA Canada out in British Columbia for a while there. And then we had the man with the voice of a god, Jordy Taylor, the old gritty bastard. He talks winning championship gold, and he seems to have an unhealthy obsession with championship belts and stuff like that, which makes it even more possible that he could be the first ever grand champion. So check it out. The guy, he's just got a great voice. Like, I have a man crush on him, and I don't even swing that way. And then we had Eddie Osborne versus Eazy-E, which ended up with Crystal Banks out there, a throwback to the past, deciding who she should manage, and then it turns into a tag team match against of Eddie Osborne and Eric Eazy-E Kearney against Clay Wilson and Brandon Jacobs, formerly known as the United Front. And then we had a tag match, The Temple versus Clay Wilson and Brandon Jacobs of the United Cunts. And then podcast number 47 with the beautiful Bia. This one is already, it just dropped yesterday, 2 days ago now, because it's Tuesday. It just dropped 2 days ago, and it's already the most, at least on YouTube. I don't have the numbers for Google Play, Spotify, iTunes, which, as I forgot to mention, is where you can also check out the podcast, whatever's easiest for you. If you have Apple Music, it's on there. You have Spotify, it's on there. If you have Google Play, see, I didn't even know how to work Google Play. I thought you went into the Play Store and typed 365. No, you go into Google Play Music. It's under the music section, and you type it in, and then all the podcasts are there. But check out the one with Beautiful Bia, who is currently on the shelf. It's already got the most views out of all the podcasts that have ever been dropped on YouTube in 2 days. And there's a reason why. It's a great podcast. Now, I started this. That's all for the content checklist. 15 items. How many can you check off the list? And then I also started this last week. Trivia time. I'm going to ask you 5 questions. All of them concerning 365 Pro Wrestling. The first person to either message me on Facebook Messenger or to send an email to ctw52@hotmail.com. Or you can even, I wouldn't comment on the YouTube video because you don't want other people seeing your answers, but you can even just message 365. There's lots of ways, but I find the easiest is just to message me on Facebook Messenger, Elian Habanero, and whoever sends me the first 5 correct answers will win a fabulous prize. I don't want to give it away what the prize is, but it's pretty cool. So, let's get into that. And also, we didn't have a winner last week. We had a couple people submit their answers, but nobody got all 5 correct answers. So, trivia time, question number 1. Which edition of the Weekly Whisper, my YouTube show here, has the most views on YouTube? That one should be pretty easy to find. You can find all these by going on social media, either on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or people's personal pages, or the 365 website. 365 is CanadianProWrestling.com. Everything is on there. I wouldn't make it so there are questions that you can't find. Even if you don't know the answers, you could do some scavenger hunting and you'll get them. Number 2, how many likes does the Judas Icarus Facebook athlete page have? Just go into Facebook, type Judas Icarus, you'll see how many people have liked his page. And while you're at it, why don't you like his page? Man, he's doing some great things, not just in 365, but really a lot of places, also over here in Ontario, but in the Pacific Northwest. The man is on a roll. Jump on the bandwagon now, because in a year or 2, you're going to say you wish you had got on there from the beginning. But how many likes does the Judas Icarus Facebook athlete page have? Question number 3. Out of all the guests on the 365 Pro Wrestling podcast, who has made the most appearances? Question number 4. On the 365 Pro Wrestling podcast, who was the guest host for the Brody King episode podcast? And question number 5. There's a couple different weekly YouTube shows that 365 Pro Wrestling has been releasing, including one of mine, The Weekly Whisper, but one of them did not air this week. Which weekly YouTube show did not air this week? And then another new segment I started. Remember, everything that I report is facts. I mean, cards are always subject to change, like the first show where the fairies got canceled. But at the time of my reporting it, they are facts. I report what Dr. Walls has given me permission to report. I report stuff that's available on the website, stuff that has already been put out there. I don't just make up stuff. But I have a lot of friends in the wrestling world, and I have a lot of acquaintances, and I have a lot of friends that know other people, and wrestlers talk. So this is the rumor roundup. These are not true, but there may be some truth to them, and sometimes gossip starts, the old tele-wrestler tales. But I got a couple rumors for you here that I've been hearing, people talk. The first one is I'm hearing about Super K, he lost the hot seat match in Guelph. And I hear he's very unhappy with 365 management. He feels he should not have even been in the hot seat match. He's very upset about that. And let me just check here. He's looking to take his frustration out on Tyler Arrow, February 29th at the Alpine Club. But yeah, Super K, who's always just been a great, excuse me, a great fun-loving guy, seems to be getting a little bit bitter and not as happy-go-lucky as he used to always be. Super K is a little pissed off, from what I've heard. I'm not saying it's true. Also, Nolan James, who is going to be in the Grand Championship qualifying singles contest against Judas Icarus this Saturday. Apparently, he's been weighing out his options, looking at the pros and cons, and maybe considering a change of scenery. I have heard rumors that if he does not walk away this Saturday with the Grand Championship, then he has considered, and it looks to be a high percentage, that he may move out to Ontario and be a part of 365 in Ontario. I don't know if that'd be permanent or it'd just be for a little while, or he has done some shows out here in the past, but he just stayed for a little bit. But apparently he may be looking at moving to Ontario. So we'll follow up on this stuff whenever we hear more about it. And speaking of Ontario, British Columbia, the two places, provinces or whatnot that 365 runs shows at, there has been talks about adding another province to the 365 banner. When we get more, we will deliver more on that. And Jordie Taylor, who I said even earlier that I had a man crush on, if you follow Jordie Taylor on Instagram or Facebook or whatnot, you'll see that he's got a wonderful voice, a wonderful body. He likes showing off his body and his championship belts. Well, apparently he's got a lot of notice. No, not notice. He's got a lot of attention drawn to him because of it. And apparently there is a rumor going around that he has gotten some offers from some adult film companies to star in some of their films. I'm not saying he's gonna do it, or like what the offers were, if they were from reputable companies, but it doesn't surprise me. But yeah, we'll follow up on that one as well. And the Temple, I talked last week how there might be some dissension in the ranks. I haven't heard any more from that, but apparently some of the guys in the locker room and girls have just been getting sick of the Temple. They do whatever they can to win, and they still get immense popularity. Well, some people just want to do away with that, and another group may be forming to combat against the Temple. Some people thought maybe they should join together and it would be easier to battle the Temple, the collective of the Temple, together instead of just by themselves. Now, in the past, me and Bia tried to do it, but 4 against 2 was just too much for us. Alright, so that's the rumor roundup. If you have any rumors or gossip, please drop it my way. I love this stuff. I love doing these episodes. I'm having so much fun. I love talking wrestling, and I love talking the gossip. Who doesn't like that stuff? I love the drama. I love the positivity. I love everything in between. It's just so much fun. Check out episode 7. Make sure you comment on the thing. If you want to be a part of the comment corner, if you drop a comment talking about what matches you like, what video you like the best out of all the YouTube video, what podcasts you like, anything that I mentioned on the show, anything that has to concern with 365 Pro Wrestling, comment it on the YouTube video. I check them daily, and if you comment on there, your comment will get announced on the air. I will say your name, and I will quote what you said. And speaking of that, always make sure you like, or you get a leg drop, you comment, or you get a clothesline, you subscribe, or you get a suplex. This is all for episode 7 of The Weekly Whisper. I'm your host, Elian Habanero. I love wrestling. Cuba!